you are. You're back again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tarinee, I'm sure you have your invitation now. I'm ready to introduce you to everybody that's been waiting so patiently. I know that everybody will be back because I have full faith in their thirst for knowledge, in their desire to succeed, in their passion to be. Oh, there you are, Tarinee. You are here. Now, Tarinee, you have an invitation, my lovely, and you have to accept that invitation for me to be able to invite you in to the conversation. So before I went on, good evening, Alison. Oh, how lovely. Hello, Tarinee. I am waiting for you. Have you accepted your invitation for me to interview you this evening? What would have happened is you'd have had an invitation and you just press on it and that splits the screen and I would be there with you. You would be here with me. Do we have that? Oh, it's just asked me if I want to tag my son in there. Of course I do. So, did your invitation come up? And did you... I waved at Alison. Alison's popped off. Or maybe she's still here. Did you see your invitation, Tarinee? Tarinee is here. She's with us watching. Let's see what Tarinee's saying. You know, modern technology, it can sometimes be difficult. Who's this lovely person in the right hand side who I can't see very well? Please say good evening. Steve, good evening. Lovely wave to you. Ah, Theodora, welcome. I'm going to say a quick aside, welcome to the Big Business Events. I see you're doing fantastic things. Really looking forward to meeting you in person. I'm going to give you a quick wave. I am actually waiting for my guest this evening. It just comes up, so Tarinee, you are watching, so what would have come up is, would you like to, it's just a little invitation on the screen, and, oh, you're showing me your snapshot of the screen. I don't know why you're not there, because I have invited you. Right. You should definitely be seeing me now, Tarinee. How's your ears after the swim? Oh my gosh. And all the way in the car, Steve. All the way in the car. You know, some people, when they work in an all-male environment, sometimes they forget that there are women around, and that's how they converse, because I think it sometimes helps their business to be very blokey, but I'm not like that, so I just let it go over my head, Steve. I'm a lady. I don't complain. Ladies don't complain. Tarinee, how are we getting on with your invitation? I sent it out to you. Did you see it? I sent another one for you. Please say that you've got it and you can accept it. Ah, Chrissy. Chrissy, hello, Chrissy. Long time no see. How are things with you? How are your lovely little dogs? So cute and gorgeous. And your big house in the... Oh, shh. She has a lovely house in the country. I can't tell you where, but all I know is it's super beautiful and lovely, and I really, really should come down and visit you, because you did look like the lord of the manor. Oh, Tarinee, it's there because it's telling me on my live feed that it's gone out to you. So I'm not quite sure. I've had an invitation before, and it just comes up in the right-hand corner, and you just press accept, and then that puts you in. I can check once more, but I have sent it out quite a few times. No, look, it says it's been sent now. Oh, that's a real shame. That is a real shame. Because once it's been said, right, let's have a look. Steve, you didn't hear me swear once, did you? I've worked in many male-orientated businesses for years. Well, in the messenger. No, it's not in the messenger. It's actually, it should be live on here on the screen, Tarinee. You should actually see it. See where all these boxes are coming up, where I can see your message. In that message, it should have said, there's an invite for you and you should accept it. And we've got lots of people on. So I'm going to press ahead, Tarinee, and I will be speaking on your behalf. And if at any point I can't choose how to go live. It should absolutely be there. I really can't see why. Yep, no, everything's on. Everything's as it should be. I'm allowing guests to come on. Predictive texts. Predictive to text can get you in trouble, can't they? They definitely can. Let me write a comment. Tarinee. Tarinee. I tell you what, let me see if I can actually send you Anne-Marie, that was me. Ben's back! Ben's back. Fine, I'm sorry, I can't see it. Oh my gosh, this is really, really sad. We might have to... I'll tell you what, Tarinee, the one thing we can do is... We can't do that because we have to use the phone. I was going to say to you, if we can't talk by... if we can't talk on the air, we can talk by messenger, or we can talk on the screen. I don't know why it's not working. Facebook has been really unpredictable lately. I've done lots of live videos before, and usually they go very well. And sometimes it just decides that it doesn't want to enable you to speak and share your wisdom with the world. I don't know. It's modern technology. I don't argue with it. I just suffer it. So let me introduce Tarinee to you, who is up on our screen. And the reason why she was actually going to be coming on this evening is because my lovely friend Terry. How bless you. Bless you, Terry. Bless you. She came on this evening because I don't know the whole extent of Tarinee's story, and perhaps you can help me out here, Tarinee. Tarinee is a migrant person. She's come from another country. I'm not quite sure where she originates from. I do know it's quite far away. And she came here some time ago and resettled in England. I mean, as if that isn't brave enough. Yesterday, I had on Naomi, who resettled here from Germany. And I don't know if there's anybody up there in our boxes who's ever moved, been brave enough and had the confidence and courage to move to another country and resettle your whole family. I'm going to tell you right now, it's one of the most exciting, bravest, scariest things you could ever do. But you know what? When you do really scary things, it gives you such a Teflon coating that there's not many things that scare you after that. So I would advise you, if you ever get an opportunity where you feel that you're really out of your comfort zone and you really think, not me, I can't do this, you're wrong, you can. And the day that you accept, and it doesn't matter what age you are, it really doesn't matter what age you are. The day that you accept your biggest challenge will be the day that your life opens up in another level. You'll have made a shift. They call it a paradigm shift, where you actually transcend one area of your life and you go into another. It's higher consciousness, some people call it, because we all live our lives in safety. That's how we were designed. We were designed to live in caves and just hunt down food so that we could survive. We were designed for survival. And that is what our brain constantly tells us to do. You know the term fight or flight? Your brain will always go for one of the two. It'll either protect you by being defensive and aggressive and getting your way out of it, or flight to run the other way. However, there is another way, and that is when you begin to control your mind. And that is the journey that I've taken as a clinical hypnotherapist. I love it. I love being able to tell myself I can do anything I want to do. Can you imagine that, though? I mean, can you imagine when you're able to go to bed at night? I sometimes make MP3s. This is a secret, but I'm telling you anyway. I sometimes make MP3s and I say, this is what I want to be able to achieve if I'm going to an event and I have to speak up on a stage in front of 200 people or 500 people or even 1,000 people. If I have to do that and I'm feeling quite nervous, I will make an MP3 of the night before, a hypnosis MP3 of exactly what I want to do, exactly how I'm going to do it, exactly how it feels. It's NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And I'll speak to myself as if I was there, as if I was actually doing what my fear is. And I go to sleep dreaming that. And in the morning, it's almost as if I've already done it. So when I go there, it's almost like deja vu. I know exactly what's going to happen. And I know exactly how I'm going to feel. So it eradicates any fear, because fear only arises out of not knowing what comes next. That is fear. I don't know what's going to come next. And I'm fearful, so I'll do the easiest thing. I'll opt out, or I just won't do it. You know how many times you've done that, right? But the times when you say, what's the worst that could happen? Actually, what is the worst that could happen? People could laugh at you, or people could walk out. But so what? You know, if you challenge yourself to do the things that you have the biggest fear about, life becomes a beautiful journey of exponential growth, of new experiences, of gratitude, of joy, of amazement, of sparkles and glitter. That's all I can say. That's exactly what it feels like. So I have Tarinee here, and she has been on that roller coaster. She has come from another country, and she's had to make that crossroads decision, the one that I talked about yesterday with Naomi, the one where you have to decide, am I going to stay in this country where I don't know anybody, where I have these cultural differences, where people talk differently, people smell differently, people behave differently, or am I going to go back to what I know, where it's safe, where my life was limited, where I couldn't really achieve what I wanted to achieve, which was the whole reason why I'm here. Which one am I going to take? The easy route, which is safe. We like safe, don't we? Or the unknown route, the road less travelled, as M. Scott Peck would say, and actually face my fears so that I can tell myself, and I know for myself, that I now control my mind, because mind power is the greatest power you can ever have. So, Tarinee, you're here, and bless you for still being here. Who else have we got up there? We've still got Lee. I would love you to interact with me, ladies, and I've got lovely ladies up there. Just tell me about a time when you really, have you come to that point of where you've had to face a magnificent fear, a fear that you really thought, you can feel your heart pumping, you feel physically sick. Have you ever got to that point and you've just bitten the bullet and you've stepped out in confidence and you've said, no, you know what, I'm going to do it? Let me see in the comments box below. Who's going to be brave enough to share with me? I love brave people. Oh. And Benny's still watching. Who there? We've got lots of people that I know have stepped out in fear because I know them personally. I'd love for you to... Good evening, Steve. A very good evening. Adumis. Adamu. I'm sure that's right. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Adamu, when have you stepped out in fear? When have you really decided, I'm going to show my ultimate confidence here and I'm going to do it, bite the bullet and do it anyway? Oh, bless you, Tarinee. Tarinee has just shared with us the one time, the biggest time in her memory that she had to step out in fear and be ultimately confident was when she made the decision to be a single mum. And I totally concur with that, Tarinee. If I tell you that when I was pregnant with my first child, Casey, and it was really quite bizarre because at the same time, in exactly the same week that I found out I was pregnant, I was 24, I found out I was pregnant, and at the same time I got offered a job. And the job was being an au pair in America, in Orange County, which is like really, I can see myself on the screen twice, it's nuts. I was offered this sort of like an internship, so I was to look after their children in the day, but once a week I would get time off to go to... yes, honey. Oh, look, Lee said... I'm going to share Lee's story with you in a minute. Yeah, and so I had this choice. Do I have the baby or do I go to America and fulfill my dreams? And I really wanted to go to America and fulfill my dreams, but I chose my baby. And, you know, making that choice to be a single mum on your own, yet Tarinee's telling us she was worried sick of not being able to cope with I hear you, Tarinee. Not being able to cope with children, not being able to cope with her business, not having any family support, being absolutely isolated, spending many times at home when your baby's crying, when your baby's asleep in bed and you can't do anything but stay in your environment and think about your situation. You're lonely, you're isolated, you think you're never going to be in love again. You think this is your life. Oh, Tarinee, I hear that. I hear you. But you know what? You stepped out in faith, and look at you today. Equally, there's Lee here. And Lee said, I knew Lee a long time ago when we were both 23, just before I had my baby, actually. We worked on the buses together as I was a bus conductor. Was I a bus conductor then? I know Lee was a bus driver. I think she was my bus. Oh, do you know what? My memory's shocking. But I know we both worked on the buses together at the same time. I think I might have been driving by then. And we both, can you imagine us, London bus drivers? We thought we were the bee's knees. We were. And driving all around London in our big red bus. And I loved it. I actually loved it. And Lee came all the way down from Nottingham. She lived in Nottingham. And she came down by herself with her bags. And she didn't know anybody. And she came to London. And she started this job on the buses with this room full. I mean, what was there? Like 500 men that worked on proper bloke men, Steve, they liked a good swear up as well, I have to say. So it's not the first time I've worked in that kind of environment. And they were just loud and brash. And I remember Lee coming in and, she had swagger. Tarinee, when you step out in ultimate confidence, you got to have swagger. Fake it till you make it is a single mum's mantra, right? You don't, your children make you strong. They are, whenever you feel that I can't do this, I just can't do this. You think about your children and you think, they're going to be watching you because you are their role model, and they're going to think, well, if mummy can't do it, I can't do it. That's your choice made, isn't it? Let's have a look up at these wonderful comments. Good evening, Vicky. Lovely to see you here. Really lovely. You just become a driver, Annie. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Can you believe I was a bus driver? Can you believe? I was. I loved it for many years. I'm proud. They were good times. That was when I didn't have to think too much and I could just have fun. But as life goes on, don't we all look for more purpose and meaning? And Lee, I know. And you found your joy in other ways. Not all of us are blessed, and everybody who's watching this evening, Lee's just made a really poignant point that she couldn't have children. So let us all know, we are here tonight discussing being single parents. And let us all know that we are absolutely blessed to be single parents, right? We are blessed. Because when, as I said, oftentimes when you are scared, you are feeling vulnerable, you are feeling out of control of the situation, it is actually your children that give you the motivation, inspiration and aspiration to be more, do more. Bless you, Lee. Bless you. It well, a little bit choked up then. Sorry, silly me. But yeah, I do. And even though my children do drive me round the bend, I really know they are my saving grace. I grew up in care and I didn't have a mum and dad. And I was a neglected, forlorn little orphan for many, many years. And all joking aside, it was a hard life. And I was scared to be a mum, quite honestly, because, even as single parents, Tarinee, I'm sure you know this, just because you're given children, it doesn't mean you're given the gift of motherhood. Don't you see that time and time again? And so it is truly a blessing to be a single parent. And I'm really glad that we can celebrate that this evening. Lee, thank you for bringing that to us, because, there are times when I'm sure we all say, oh, God, they drive us mad, they drive us this and that. And it's good for us to recognise, good evening, Franklin, that actually our children are a wonderful, beautiful blessing to us. And Tarinee, if you could just share with us, what do you think your children, what motivation do you think your children have given you to do something that you perhaps wouldn't have done? I know you can't speculate, you have your lovely children, but what have they inspired you to do? Please share it with us. I know what my children have inspired me to do. They've inspired me to do this job. I was working as a nursery manager. I was going to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, coming to work at 9 o'clock at night for many years as a nursery manager, looking after an 86-place nursery, 86 children, 86 families, embarking. So you can imagine there were parents that neglected their children. There were parents that had mental health problems. There were parents that were homeless. There were parents that beat their children. There were parents that overloved their children. There were parents that overfed their children. There were parents of all kinds. And whilst I looked after, nurtured and loved every single one of their children, my children were at home waiting for me to come home. And I was actually pushed into the situation of leaving because my son was slowly going off the rails while I was being a parent to everybody else's children. Does this resonate with anyone? You know, you're so busy caring for other people that actually you neglect to look what's in your own back garden. I was guilty of that. I was guilty. And my son went off the rails and my son got excluded from school. And that was the biggest wake-up call that I had, to say to me, Annie, it's time. They just test my patience and teach me to be resistant and... yes, Tarinee, they do test your patience, but they also make you the person that you are today. Your children test you in every way. You know why? To make you stronger, to build your character, to be the best parent for them. That's why they give you all these lessons, so that every time you learn how to do something that's out of your comfort zone, you become a better parent. That's why they give it. These children are not yours. These children are given to you. So again, we are blessed. And as I said, my own son went off the rails a little bit, and I realised that I had to stop caring about everybody else's children and I had to care about my own children, and I stopped that job. And for a time I was jobless. We became homeless, all of us. Yes, absolutely. Once you have these qualities, you can do anything. All of these skills you develop as a parent are life transferable. You know, in fact, who's ever seen that email that goes around that gives you the list of all of those jobs, and right at the bottom it says to you, yeah, this is what a mum does. If we got paid for every job we did as a parent, I'm sorry, there would be, good evening, Naomi, good evening, my lovely. If we got paid for every job we did as a parent, there wouldn't be a wage big enough. To be quite honest, we would just have the most money. You know, chauffeur, counsellor, carer, negotiator, mediator, teacher. How many other roles are there? And we do all of this without pay, it's a 24-hour job, you know. And if anybody else, in fact, I did see a lovely post on Facebook the other day when they were offering this job out. Hey, and they were saying, would you do this job? You don't get paid anything. You have to work really long hours. You have to go above and beyond. You have to hold their hair back when they're sick. You have to be there when they're tired. You have to be there when they're ill. And it was 5 people they were interviewing, and each of them went, no, I would not do that. And then at the end, it was quite ironic because they said, yeah, that's what your mum does. And they all went, oh, I feel really bad. I love my mum. Because as mums, we do such an amazing job and we don't ask for any reward. But you know what the reward is? The reward of children is to see them. Good evening, Cindy. How lovely for you to join us. Looking beautiful in pink as always, because that is your beautiful colour. The reward as a parent is the reward of seeing your child developed, whole, loving, giving, and able to contribute back to the world. That's your reward as a single parent, and it is the biggest reward, more than money could ever buy. Who agrees with that? I'm sure you all do. Absolutely. Having children is a labour of love. Labour being, very good play on words. Labour being the operative word. Yes, having children is most definitely a labour of love. Talking about a labour of love, I just want to ask you all very quickly. I have a client and a young boy, and his mum has been, oh yes, look, I think we've got, woohoo, I think we've got Tarinee coming on to share her story. She just, yep, right, I'm gonna, yes. Oh, this could be a very lucky coup for us this evening. This inspirational, aspirational, motivational single mum, single foundation, single founder of Single Parents Hub. I think she's coming on in. I actually think we're going to be able to share the screen. Wouldn't this be wonderful and amazing? She's actually worked out the technology. Come on in. Yes. So I have a client. His name's Freddie, and he has overcome some amazing obstacles. You've seen the post. I posted it today, and I nominated him for the award of a true little hero. His brother have been amazing.
Hang on. I got 2 things on at once. Hello. Oh my God. my goodness me, finally.
How
It's
do you
so crazy.
how you worked it out? But you know what? Your entrance, Tarinee, you have absolutely encapsulated ultimate confidence and living life without limits, because you were restricted by the fact that you couldn't get on and you didn't give up. Yeah, isn't that absolutely brilliant? Tarinee's here. This is my evening guest. She's been in the wings. She's been diligent. She's been patient. She's been
I've
persistent.
been sitting here since 7 o'clock, you know, and I have to go on. I won't give up. That's finally I'm
What?
on, so I'm so
That
happy.
is the single parents mantra. I won't give up. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry for everyone that already on that, you know.
No,
Quite a long
listen, I've been sharing your comments, so we've all heard a little bit about you, and everybody knows how inspirational you are. But what is fantastic is now we can hear your story, Tarinee, because I'm really interested. You know, you're a young woman, and you've done so much. You are a young woman. These days, I can say that now. Tony's watching, and we've got 7 people watching you this evening. Good evening to everybody. Thank you for your patience. And Angie, welcome everybody. Please do contribute, ask questions. This session here is entirely for you. We want to be here for you. We are both single parents, and we both feel we are, and we want to inspire you to do the same. So, oh, Tarinee, where have you gone? You were here, and then Tarinee, come back. Yes, as single parents, this session really is about inspiring you. Right, Theodora says, I'm a nursery nurse. I enjoyed working with children, but I'm tired of working so hard. And let me see, and less enjoyment. I go work early and come home work early. Theodora, it is fate and destiny that you should be here this evening, listening to this show, tuning in to me. And the reason why, good evening, Patrick. The reason why it's destiny that you should be, she's coming back, Lee, she's coming back. I just pressed for her to come back. But I used to be a nursery manager, and I wasn't nursery nurse for many years. So absolutely. Good evening, my darling Sue-Ann. So lovely to see so many ladies here this evening. Tash or Tosh? Tosh, you're a single parent also. We have some amazing single parents online this evening. There are so many single parents that I can see here. Isn't this wonderful that we are united in our desire to be more, to rise together? This is absolutely fantastic, and I'm so overjoyed. For those of you that are not single parents, bless you. And for those that are, we are inspired. We are absolutely inspired. So Tarinee has just set up a foundation. It's called the Single Parents Hub, and its purpose is to empower and inspire single parents to be more and do more. Now, when I say inspire, this lady, who is a migrant person, who she's come into this country, and she's absolutely resettled and made a life for herself as a single parent. Are you hearing this? As a single parent, she has elevated herself, and she now runs this foundation. She also is a wealth coach. Don't we all need that? Everybody, a wealth coach. And for those of you that don't know what a wealth coach is, I've actually worked with a wealth coach, and I tell you what, it's amazing. Money mindset is one of the hardest things for single parents, especially, to master. Money mindset is the thing that holds you back and makes you feel that you are not enough, and that you don't value yourself enough to charge your true and valuable worth. And when I worked with someone on money mindset, it changed my whole life, quite honestly. It changed my whole life and allowed me to start doing this job as a full-time job and believe in myself enough to charge my worth. And it's absolutely changed my life. So any one of you single parents out there who is struggling, who is starting their own business and feels the pressure of trying to earn money, run the household, she's back.
I'm sorry, the phone call come in and then the whole thing switch off.
Tarinee, you're too popular. You're just too popular. You know what? You've just called me right in the middle of something I want to share with everybody that's listening, because it's really, really important. You actually work. I know you're going to introduce yourself in a little, but you work
the way around. Yes.
Other way round. Other way round.
Yes.
You work as a wealth coach, right?
I am. Yes.
Right. Tarinee, we have so many ladies on the line that could benefit from just a few nuggets of how can they move themselves forward as single parents wanting to be more, do more and have more, but not feeling that they can move past their current circumstances.
I think the basic thing is what I wrote on my second book is happiness, health, and wealth. And if you Google it, it's quite simple. They call the life wheel. So basically, in the wheel, you have your relationship, your finance, your mindset, what you feel about yourself, the neighbor, people surrounding you, support, children, finance and career, self-education and things. I think the first step is for you just to find where you are, because you need to know where you are first before you move on. Maybe you have everything else, but then you don't have a finance, then we can tackle the finance and improve on that. Or maybe you are balanced, but it's too small, then you need to expand it. But unless you know where you stand, otherwise you just don't have direction. You just try to fit everything.
That's right. That's right. So it's about looking at every aspect of your life. This is called the wheel. It's an exercise that you can do, which really, good evening, Steve. So lovely to see so many wonderful people here. Bless you all. Welcome. Tarinee is with me. Tarinee is a wealth coach. She advises people on how to manage money better. She's just some really good advice on how to use the wheel of life, which looks at every aspect of your life. It's cut into segments, and it asks you to measure from 1 to 10 how your life is now. And 10 being the best and 0 being it just asks you to measure where you are now so that you can work towards a 10 and you can see your life in perspective. Because what happens when we're single parents is we have so many jobs in a day. We're washing, cleaning, we're tidying the house, we're doing business, we're making phone calls, we're managing the finances of the house, we're managing the finances of the business, we're doing goal setting plans for this week, this month, this year. We're doing so much. What tends to happen is we start just living life in reaction. And what we need to be is living our lives proactively. We need to plan our happiness, because happiness doesn't just happen.
No, it's not. And also it's important to have life balance and love balance as well, because otherwise the wheel gone wonky. And sometimes we just too much giving without taking back, or satisfy your own self first. Then you feel more resentful toward whatever you keep giving, and it doesn't need to be that extreme. Everything can come together as a balance.
Absolutely. Tarinee, tell us about the Single Parents Hub. What can it do for single parents? And there's other ladies on here who just reminded me, it's not just for single parents, we all need help. What can the Single Parent Hub, the hub, do for women that are looking for guidance? What's its purpose?
What I do, because I'm a single mom myself, and when you fight alone, it's so hard. And I just thinking life, it shouldn't be that hard. Come on, we face the same problem. Why can't we join forces and support one another? And before first, like you said, I try to do the mindset course, the wealth course, the relationship, the online dating, which we try to nitpicking and picking the puzzle. But why don't we just get everything together? That's why I decided I want to build up the single parents community. And what we do is we invited all experts in many areas of our life, and you are very helpful and honored to have you on board. So we bring in experts in many areas of our life to come to support single parents. And the expert can come and give advice and, you know, show us what to do. And in the same time, we can help health expert to promote their own business. It's more of collaboration rather than you go solo. Everything now is no enemy. Yes, we can, you know, cooperate and support each other, and that's what we do. And Single Parents Hub is, we have many events. We have education events. We have children play date. We have family gathering. Maybe we go picnic or we even go on holiday together. And we also have a date night for, you know, for the grown up. And every of our events will come with the children crash, because we know it's always the biggest problem for parents. We want to do well for our family, but then you have to thinking, who's going to looking after our children, right? So that's what I decided, that every of my meeting will have the space for grown up to learn and improve our life, to make our life better. And then at the same time, we'll have the area where I'm going to provide 2-3 childminder in there. And then you can drop your children there. They can be in the library, in the playground, someone look after them. So we don't need to worry because we can't be in 2 places.
You know, one of the things that you said there, Tarinee, which I think is absolutely wonderful, I wonder how many of you that are watching have really wanted to go on a holiday. This is such
oh my God,
parent to go on a holiday. Who wants to go on a holiday by yourself? I don't even want to go out for a day out with my children by myself sometimes, because it's so lonely being on your own.
No, and it's very hard work. It's not a holiday.
The children go off and play and you're sitting there and you're feeling the vulnerable one, because the children are happy. You're sitting there. But for you to be able to offer an environment where single parents can go together on a holiday, and that you put in place all the creches and the support and the security, that the children looked after, and allow single parents to actually feel like human beings, to actually feel like participating in society, to actually feel valuable in society. And that and
I think you touch on the very important, the core concept of community is we need to be part of the loving, supportive environments. That's what we need as a human being. You know, I don't think, doesn't matter how savvy entrepreneurs you are, you can't really go solo by yourself all the time. You still need love, you know, need cuddle, need people, need grown up company, need to feel that someone have you back. You're not all alone. You know, you are part of the loving community. And that's what I think we longing to have that. That's the main concept of community for Single Parents Hub.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I know you've done a lot of personal development, and I know that you've been to oh gosh, what's his name? The speaker.
The Toastmaster.
No, not the Toastmaster. But I wasn't speaking about him. You know Tony. Well, I know you know about Tony Robbins, and I know you know 6 basic needs, and one of them is human love and connection. It's not just a desire; it's actually a need that we have to have in order for us to develop as whole people and to be able to contribute back to society in a positive way. We've got lots of people on, and they're all talking about. Some people are saying that it's and I think this was Josie Abrahams was saying that even though it can be difficult being a single parent, it can also be a power and a strength, because you don't have the destruction. You don't have that element of destruction where you're trying to make decisions to go forward, but someone has not got your best interests at heart, and they pull you back. I have to agree with this, Tarinee, because I'm a single parent. When I was with my very destructive partner,
we need another 5 hours for that.
You know, I once he'd gone, my life moved on really quickly, and sometimes it's having the confidence, isn't it? Like you said earlier on, it's having the confidence to recognize I would actually be better off as a single parent. I would actually further. So it is the confidence to, you know, some people would say it's better to stay together for the children, but I think far braver decision to say, actually, this is just not working.
I think children are very clever. You don't need to say it out loud. They send your energy. A lot of people said, oh, we stay for the sake of the children. No, because you know, when you not get on well with your ex-partner, you already have that tense, the energy. He walking in the room, boom, you don't want to be there. So the children straight away can feel that, and then they get a bit vulnerable and anxiety coming in, like, wow, you know, who should they go? They stuck in the middle now, and they don't know what to do, you know.
And you know what you're giving them, Tarinee? You're giving them a role model of how they should be treated when they're older. If you stay, Josine, I know you're going to hear me on this one. If you stay in a violent relationship, if you stay in an abusive relationship, if you stay in a negligent relationship, no matter how difficult the circumstances are, you need to go. Because everything that you do in that relationship, your children see and they think it's acceptable. If you accept it, they will accept it in their relationships. Trust me, it happens. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you value and love your children, if you can't do it for yourself because you're so, maybe you're a person who neglected of love when you were young, and this is the only way that you can be shown love. And I get that. I get that. That's very, very sad. But what must give you the strength in situations like that is to know, actually, you're giving your children freedom. You're giving them freedom to know that they can have a life filled with real love, and you can show them that as a single parent easily, far easier than being in a destructive relationship.
Yes, I had a crazy situation where, you know, the old generation is quite common of mom, you know, the dad beat the mom up, and then the dad beat all the children up. My family was like that. So when my mom heard of that my sister, her boyfriend beat her up, and instead of she's gone crazy, she said, oh, is she all right? Because she accept it, and she think it's normal to be beat up by the man. You know, but for me, no, that's not right. I called the police straight away, and I get him, you know, get him out of the house. And but it's quite surprised to see when I told my mom, and then she said, oh, well, is she okay? It's like nothing happened. It's all right. It's just a normal thing. No, it's not normal to be beat up, you know, by a man, or the man can just give, you know, make you shut up by beating you up. That's not normal. That's not right.
And you know what, Tarinee, I'm so proud and glad to hear you being brought up in that environment, but recognizing you had an inner strength, an inner intuition, an inner confidence, an inner deep love for yourself that you said, no, not me, not me. And you've given your children a gift, and that is inspirational. That's really inspirational. Please tell us where we can find you, because the fact that
oh my God. Thank you so much for everyone patient to stay on.
We usually do 20 minutes. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm sure the lovely, I have somewhere to go. But please, before they do go, can you give us some connections where we can connect with you and find out more about you?
I know it's backwards, so maybe here. Can you see that?
That's it.
singleparent.com. It's going to go live from tomorrow, and great news, because I really want to build up this community, and I really want to support people in a better way. So the first 100 people to sign up, not only I give 1 month free, I will give everyone the first 3 months free membership with all access to all information and events, because I really want people feedback, you know, how could we do better.
Could you post that on my wall, and I can share it? Lots of people can see it on my wall, and I know there's Naomi there. She's a single parent. Possibly she could post it on her wall. We really want to get the word out, because you know what? We are blessed that we are strong.
Yes, we are. Yes.
There's a couple of ladies up there that I know are super powerful, but not everyone's blessed with our resilience. So I would love to spread this, what you're trying to do, and empower other single parents that don't have what we have. So I would love to spread this around. So please post it on my wall, and
I will do that. Thank you.
And ask you any questions about your journey, or how you can inspire them. They know they can go. If you put your details on my wall, they'll be able to see that. Ladies, And you know where I am. I'm essex-hypnotherapist.com. I'm here. I do empowerment coaching, confidence coaching. That is what I do. I came from a similar background to Tarinee here. We have risen, and I feel it's my God-given duty to help guys. And you know, I've worked with some wonderful people that have experienced some amazing transformations. And if you really feel it's your time to step forward and step into your ultimate confidence and decide, you know what, this is my life, and I'm only going to get this opportunity to be in this body and do what I want. I want my life, then please do. There we go. Josine, Strong Women, SingleParentHub.com. Josine's already put up the link for us. Single parents working together in unity from the off. And it's a beautiful, wonderful thing to be a part of. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this small community here this evening, and hopefully making a difference and empowering those that are listening to take things a step further to empower themselves. I'm here if you need me. You know where to find Tarinee. I'll be back next Sunday at 7 and Monday at 8 p.m. If you have any questions in the meantime, you're welcome to put them to Tarinee. You're welcome to put them on my page. Keep empowering yourselves to stay strong and be beautiful. We love you all. Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.